the profession of the three is by far the best, for sure, because you already have the thing that's out there, because you already do so much with it. And so the only thing you actually have to add at that point is promotion and conversion. So you have to say, how do I let people know about this what I'm doing? And secondarily, how do I get these people once they find out to give me money, right? And so from a letting people know about it, I gave one of 8 ways to let people know. So there's warm outreach, so that's letting people know one-on-one about your stuff. There's cold outreach, which is one-on-one with strangers. You've got paid ads, right, which you can run on any platform, or you've got posted content. Those are the only 4 things that one person can do. Now,
That's a great breakdown. There's only 4 things,
yeah,
but you start thinking there's a million things out there.
you've got strangers and people you know, and you've got one-on-one and one-to-many. That's the 4 box. Now, from those four, you then unlock 4 others, which is that I can do one-on-one outbound, or I can do content, post content, or I can run ads to get customers who then get me more customers, to get affiliates or partners who get me more customers, to get employees who will then do these things on my behalf to get me more customers, or to get agencies who will then do it as a vendor on my behalf. And so, everyone must start with the core 4. Even if you get a bunch of partners then promoting your behalf, you still started with a message that you sent to somebody, right? And so the core 4 is the first activity that you must do in order to promote. These other things are higher leverage, that makes sense, but this is the core 4 you start with. Once you have someone who's responding to you and say, hey, I'm interested in your stuff, say someone from contacts or an engaged lead, right? They've shown interest. Then we basically have to take them from engaged to ideally some people buy, right? And so that process at the most basic level is going to be a conversation that leads to a conclusion, right? And so I have a very simple framework that I encourage people who are starting out to follow, which I call CLOSURE. And so it's an acronym, so C. So C stands for clarify. It's like, hey, why'd you respond to my thing, right? And the nice thing is that whenever you promote, you only are really going to have a conversation with someone who engages back, right? So you always have the reason why right in the front. So what made you comment on my post? What made you DM me after that? What made you respond to my ad? What made you even respond to my original message or call, right? So you have that reason. So what made you do that? Clarify. Then you have L, which is label them with a problem. So, okay, so what I'm hearing is this is a problem. We're trying to solve. Does that sound about right? Okay, cool. We go to O, which is both their past experiences. And so here we're simply asking them more or less the same 4 questions, which is, okay, what have you done so far? How did that work for you? What was good? What was bad? And then we try and tie that to our solution, the pieces that we can solve. It's like, oh, well, I think you might like this because we have this other. I'll get to that later, but okay, this is great. What else have you done? What else have you done? And so that's kind of the pain cycle. And the reason the pain cycle is important is because in order to increase motivation in the short term, we have to basically expand the deprivation around the thing that they want. And so we have to increase its priority in the short term to get them to take action. And that's why that cycle is so important. The 4th is S, which is we sell the vacation. And so we want to talk about the outcomes of what the experience is going to be like once the problem's solved, rather than just having some long-winded pitch. And what's very interesting about the sell portion is that most people talk way too much. We try and get into under 320 words. So it doesn't like people. If you can very accurately describe someone's existing condition to them and say, so it sounds like you're struggling with this, and it sounds like you're struggling with this, and it sounds like you're struggling with this, and if we solve this one, this is what unlocks. We solve this one, this is what unlocks. And we solve this, and this one unlocks. Is that about right? They're like, yeah. It's like, we can totally help you. A lot of times you actually don't need to say, if you nail the pain part, the pitch is very easy. And so I am a big believer in having 3 points of whatever pitch you have. So you can always chunk it up. Like I have our attract, convert, deliver. You have, okay, how do we get people to find out? How do we convert them? And how do we get them the stuff? Right? Having 3 elements of whatever it is. I mean, I used to do sales scripts for different companies back in the day. So it's like I had a mortgage lead company. They're like, okay, well the leads are timely. You want them to be qualified. You want them to be exclusive. Okay, great. If you're in fitness, it's like you need a workout. You need to eat right. You need to have accountability. If you have all 3, then you can't fit. Right? this conversation far more than every person